Newt Gingrich was on Fox News to promote his shitty new book, and he was asked about Jill Stein's recount effort, and he took the opportunity to attack Jill Stein and imply that she's crazy. Take a look.
In the description on Amazon.com, it says this: treason is a story of a nation fighting for its life, not only against outside threats, but also against an internal threat. Now, in this case, it's terrorism in your book. But that's what Jill Stein says. She doesn't want an internal threat. That's what she's saying. That's what she's fighting. What's your take?
Well, let me say also that tragically, the killing, or rather the knifings at Ohio State resemble part of what we have in treason, which does deal with international efforts by Islamic supremacists. I would say that Jill Stein represents sort of the nut wing of American politics. When the left loses as badly as they have, at every level, from local state legislature to governor to Congress to the presidency, you begin to get this sort of nut fringe showing up. The fact that Hillary's people are associating with her, I think, tells you how desperate and how disoriented Hillary's campaign has become. And the whole thing is a joke.
So I take it that the irony of his statement was lost on him there, because for him, of all people, to suggest that anyone is fringe or is from the nut wing of American politics, it's just hilarious, because Newt Gingrich is someone who's not just a nut. I think he's just weird, generally speaking, but let's get to some of his fringy political ideas. So, Newt, you're against contraception, and you're also against abortion. If you allow people to have contraception, then that would lead to less abortions. You also said that marijuana legalization would tear America apart. How? If by tear America apart, you mean increase our tax revenue and lead to less people being arbitrarily arrested, then yeah, I think it would tear America apart. That's just a weird opinion. Also, you want to increase penalties for people caught with drugs. You're effectively in favor of an American theocracy. You want creationism literally taught in schools, and you support a constitutional amendment for school prayer. You also said that you want to, quote, recenter America on the creator. What does that even mean, Newt? I don't know what that means. What evidence do you even have for the existence of a creator? Now, you once co-sponsored a bill in 1989 that stated that climate change was, in fact, anthropogenic, and stated that our country must take action to address it, but a couple of years later, you said that you weren't sure if man-made climate change was real. Gotta toe the party line, though, right? Now, here's what's weird. You said that you want to, quote, reward high school girls who graduate as virgins. That's really, really, really weird, Newt. That's really weird. What do you give them a badge of honor, a medal? And how is this verifiable? I mean, this is so strange. This is such a strange position to take, Newt. And you're also a hypocrite. I'll tell you why in a second. So you cheated on your wife while she had cancer and broke your own marriage vows, yet you're against same-sex marriage because it's sin. That's really weird. You also called Palestine, quote, an invented people. You called President Obama a socialist, which illustrates that you have no idea what socialism is, and you want to privatize Social Security. Those views are not just fringy and weird, but the American people don't agree with you on those positions, Newt. You're fringe. You're the definition of fringe. You're just weird. So to suggest that Jill Stein is the one that is fringy or is from the nut wing of American politics, as you like to put it, just because she's from a political party that's disenfranchised by our biased electoral system, well, that's not what makes you a fringe idiot, Newt. What makes you fringy is your insane policy positions, and you've got more than enough to suggest that you are a crazy person. You are a nut. And another thing I want to address here, he talked about how foreign hackers couldn't hack paper ballots. Now, I don't think that foreign hackings is a phenomenon that's very likely. I don't think that played a role in this election. However, by saying that, you look like an idiot, because the fact that the machines that count the paper ballots aren't hooked up to the internet, That's not what we're worried about. What we're worried about is the memory cards that you insert into the machines that count the ballots. Those are hackable. I mean, this is verifiable. You can look at the Hacking Democracy documentary on HBO. I actually interviewed the director and will be penning an article about that documentary pretty soon. That's what we're worried about. So you're just uninformed. You don't know about the facts. If you were actually challenged to a debate by Jill Stein, you would get crushed because you are uninformed. You're a wackadoo. You're just a crazy person. And to really illustrate that once more, I'll go ahead and leave you guys with this video of our good friend Newt Gingrich here.
We're really puzzled here at Gingrich Productions. We've spent weeks trying to figure out, what do you call this? Now, I know you probably think it's a cell phone. And if I say to audiences, how many of you have a cell phone that takes a picture, 97% of the hands go up. But think about it. If it's taking pictures, it's not a cell phone. If it has a McDonald's app to tell you where McDonald's is based on your GPS location, that's not a cell phone. If you can get Wikipedia or go to Google, that's not a cell phone. If you can watch YouTube, that's not a cell phone. Or Netflix. Think about it. This device is something new and different. I've been calling it a handheld computer, but I decided that really was misleading because, while it has the computing power of a 2003 laptop, its real power is not internal computation. Its real power is networking. It's connected to the entire world of information and the entire world of communications. And of course, this is just a work in progress. This is this year. The first cell phone call was 1973. The first commercial cell phone was 1978. We have been accelerating ever since in the capability of a handheld device. So we'd love to have your ideas and your thoughts. Please leave a comment. What would you call this so that we could explain to people that they carry in their hand literally the potential to have a dramatic revolution in how we get things done and how we take care of our own health and how we interact with our government and how we are productive. And I think that we need to have a new conversation about recentering American politics and government around the kind of breakthroughs that this makes possible. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Alrighty then.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.